Thank you for watching News Echoes and welcome to the last episode in 2021. We want to thank you for staying with us throughout the year, and it's my job to thank the crew in Milan and our publisher, Mark Godwin. Also, my job to thank my colleagues across Europe and in Nigeria. Ambassador Nat Yako, want to thank you for what you've done. Want to thank Dr. Osita and Emeka, what you are contributing, invaluable for several years. Many people will still be watching this show. So I welcome you all to this wonderful episode. Is the last episode in 2021, and the next time we'll appear to you will be in a new year. Ambassador Nat Yakwo, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and hope you enjoyed your Christmas.
Yes, we did.
Welcome to this show.
Dr. Osita, all the way from Nigeria, will welcome you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shagun. And my colleagues, Nat Yako and Massive Godwin, God bless you.
Thank you.
In Milan, we say Mark in Milan. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shagun. Happy New Year in advance, and also compliments of the season to the viewers.
Thank you very much. Let's kick off with staying with Omicron. I think the whole world has accepted that we'll just be staying with COVID right now. There's nothing else we can do but to just say, well, we have to overcome. And if we have to live with Omicron, so be it. One good news is that Omicron is not as deadly as the other variants like Delta. And South African experts have told us that Omicron has made them release 91% of hospitalization. That is, Omicron, you don't have to go to the hospital except you are in danger. And in the United Kingdom, there are different ways of handling Omicron. And all our nations, the United Kingdom is made up of four nations: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. And everyone has decided to go his own way because the devolved power allows each nation to handle its own health care. And so in England, there is no restriction like we have in Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Of course, face mask and social distancing are necessary in public places and public transportation. But in Wales, there are restrictions, and in Scotland and Northern Ireland, different kinds of restrictions. And yet we are all in the same country. I'm going to first of all ask Ambassador Nat to tell us more into how we are coping with Omicron in the United Kingdom, and then we will want to know how they are coping with Omicron in Europe before we go to Nigeria. Ambassador Nat, how are we coping in the United Kingdom?
Well, we thank you for this opportunity. We don't know. It's every day there's a new lexicon for COVID-19. We started with Delta, now we're in Omicron. And so attempts are being made by all concerned to see how we can manage effectively this Omicron challenge. But the four nations in England, they are having different rules or different protocols for the COVID-19. But it seems the other three nations, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, are complaining that the United Kingdom is giving room for Omicron to move to their nations because there are no lockdowns in the United Kingdom for now. What the words we are told is important is restriction and be more responsible in your lifestyle. And so, but we're only waiting for the next 2 or 3 days. We don't know what Boris Johnson is going to throw up.
Well, I think Boris Johnson's cabinet have said that they will not be throwing up any surprises until after the new year. Is it not because Boris Johnson is weakened as a prime minister, him having Christmas party and all of those things, and therefore, if he should make any law, they will not be effective. His authority has been dissipated, isn't it?
Well, there is no vote of no non-vote of confidence yet on him.
Mm.
So he's still trying to swim against the tide, and we're all watching and we're looking. And
Mm.
the last cabinet meeting, I think they gave him a leeway. He's the only person. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, is the only person who can introduce any new legislation. Well, not legislation as such. Is the only person who can change what they had agreed on. What they had agreed on is, so for now, no lockdown.
Yeah, no lockdown. Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to have all our parties until 2022, at least in England. It's not so in Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Let's quickly go to Europe. Mark in Milan, what is the situation in Europe? Europe is not finding it funny. France and Germany, they are having high infection rates of Omicron. How about Italy and the rest of Europe?
Thank you very much. Europe is not finding it funny, Dr. Shogun. France, Italy, Greece, Portugal all hit record high daily infection since the past 3 days. France is reporting close to 180,000 people, 180,000 infected cases of Omicron.
In one day?
In the past 3 days.
Okay.
Yes, in the past 3 days. As at Monday, Italy also was reporting close to 80,000 people too, thereabouts. And WHO have said that the Omicron case in Europe is about to go record high. The spike is increasing. It's going at a very alarming rate. What we are doing now is following in western part of Europe, some part of Western Europe. They are following very strict laws, rules, the normal thing we've always known, but in a more stricter way. The mask wearing everywhere, the social distancing, and lots more. Now, the booster shots, the age limit for the booster shot has been reduced. So we find more youths, young people, also going for booster shots. And Omicron is not helping Europe. Omicron is not helping Europe.
Are there resistances to restrictions? People coming out to say, no, we don't want any other restriction. Do you have such in Europe?
Obviously, countless of such resistance are everywhere. In fact, as at yesterday, there were some protests not too far from where I am. People saying all this is still government's plan at controlling human beings, at controlling citizens. So there are strong resistance. Belgium is experiencing resistance too. Swiss, Zurich. In Zurich, there are cases of protests every corner of Switzerland. And but the government is still doing what they want to do. Government is still trying to protect the life of people in their own way, even though some of these measures they have put in place is not really working, because some of the victims of Omicron were people that have taken the 2-3 shots. So how come the shots are not really preventing them from having this infection? So these are questions we are all asking here. So Europe is not faring well. Omicron is dealing with Europe. There are spikes everywhere, super spreader everywhere. and we're just hoping for the best.
Thank you very much for that report. Let's go to our dear country, Nigeria. Dr. Sita, how is Omicron treating Nigeria, or is it disappeared completely?
I'm in the countryside. People are coming in from Lagos. People are coming in from Port Harcourt and Abuja, and there are no restrictions. We don't speak restrictions here. All we're doing is being personally smart. We're just saying self-protection. Everybody traveling anywhere in Nigeria is free to go where they want to go. But the point is, for personal safety and personal hygiene, people are being seen as strongly protecting themselves. But the good thing about that is that there are suspicions here and there. When somebody dies mysteriously, when somebody passes up, somebody goes to bed, and has a little cough, doesn't wake up the next morning, they are taken to the hospital. And because we don't quite do post-mortem here, we don't investigate deaths. People are not sure yet, but there are suspicions, here and there. Restrictions, no, but being self-smart, yeah.
Yeah, but we understand that Omicron is very infectious in Lagos, and Lagos
Yes.
people are now traveling to their various homestays. Do you think they'll be spreading Omicron that way?
Yes, that was what I was saying. Apart from Lagos, there are pockets of Omicron, here and there in other big cities, and those big cities also received it from Lagos. It's just that the metropolis has a faster way of spreading the virus. But what I'm saying is that for those of us who are now in the hinterlands, we avoid people who are coming in from Lagos. Lagos has seen, yes, we avoid them, for just the reason that we know where they're coming from. But if somebody does not tell you that he's coming from Lagos, I don't know the person before, we all mingle. Just that some of us who are very smart, we still wear our face masks, and we still carry vials of sanitizers in our pockets.
Do you have a way you can test yourself? Here in Europe, we have lateral flow given by the government, lateral flow kits. We test ourselves on a daily basis. In fact, before you go and visit a friend, a relative, you must do a test, your own test, so that you say, I've just done my test, I'm COVID free, and I'm coming to your house. And the household also will test itself before you arrive there. Yes, I'm COVID free, you can come. Do you have such a lateral flow test kit in Nigeria?
Very good question. Very good question. Most people would have loved that, but it's not existent. A couple of people have that in Lagos, not quite a good number in Abuja, and that's it. In the villages, in the hinterlands, you don't find that, and there's just one reason for it. People don't know that they can ask for it. People who have requested for it cannot find it. So we're waiting, hoping that in January 2022, this will become the order of the day. But for now, Nigerians are praying. Everybody now, when they pray for Omicron. We believe in prayers, and do nothing. But we're hoping that prayers will work, because we don't have a choice anymore.
Oh God, Dr. Sita, let's just leave Nigeria that way, because I know that here in the United Kingdom, we are 65 million people. The government is providing this lateral flow test to kids, to everybody, and which means you have access to 7 per day, and they're expected to be testing one another every day, because it can come anytime. But for a country like Nigeria with 200 million people and no lateral test flow kits from any pharmacy, and it is free here, is just beggars belief. So we are praying. Indeed, prayer must work in Nigeria otherwise. But we have also a guest speaker today that will just speak to us for a few minutes. Ambassador Felix Duke of the President Creative Industry Group. I'm not sure if he's in the studio yet, but as soon as he's in the studio, we will have him on. We'll just leave this I'm just looking at the image of Ambassador Nat, and I can't see how we will live in Europe anymore without the test kit, the COVID test kit. What do you say?
Well, if it is going to provide some relief or solution,
Mm.
then and no side effect, no nothing, then maybe it becomes um, part of our dressing. I put it that way.
But it's
Wherever,
true. Without it, you can't even visit your relative. You say, "Did you do the test? Please don't come in if you don't do the test." And by the way, you can stay at the door and do the test. It has come to that now, and well, it's not catching up in Africa yet. It just tells us how they take health issues seriously in Europe and less seriously in the developing world. Well, we leave it as that. Ambassador Nat, something happened in South Africa last week. Um, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, well known, versatile, irrepressible, anti apartheid icon of the same magnitude with Nelson Mandela, passed on to glory at the age of 90 years. The apartheid government said we wanted to jail Desmond Tutu, but we are afraid of the Christian community. So we had to leave him, and he utilized that one to go against the apartheid regime. You want to tell us more about this icon, Archbishop Desmond Tutu?
thank you very much. It's a privilege to talk about late emeritus Bishop Bishop Desmond Tutu, and well, he was born 1931 and died 2021, so 90 solid years. And I think with his 90 years, he was able to impact the whole world. The whole world got impacted by um, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And in fact, what is happening in South Africa now is there is I don't want to use the word competition. Who impacted people more, Nelson Mandela or Archbishop Desmond Tutu? Because when Tutu was, I mean, when Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 odd years, the bishop kept the faith. He kept the faith. He did not give up. He was still talking against anti-apartheid. In fact, he kept the movement going, both on his pulpit and outside. And so there are so many tribute pouring in from all over the world. Desmond Tutu was not the politician we will know, but his influence, what he said, affected what was going on. And in fact, as Dr. Johnson said, the apartheid regime they were afraid of the man, but they could not arrest him because of the consequences. And after 1994, when Mandela became the first black president, he set up a commission, the Truth and Reconciliation Committee of South Africa, where Bishop Tutu was made the chairman, and he gave everybody an opportunity to come and confess their sins. Let me put it that way. Those people who are championing appetite, who are championing minority rule, and we see the sentiment and the emotion he put into that commission. He was also known to be a voice for the voiceless, a principled man, and wasn't afraid to talk truth to power, even Mandela had cause to complain that Archbishop Tutu will rebuke him even in the public, not even on one-to-one. And so all other presidents that followed, Mbeki and
Zuma.
Zuma, and even the current one, Ramaphosa, and the impact of Bishop Tutu was not only limited to South Africa, as I had earlier said. Even in Nigeria, he had cause to come and intervene when Obasanjo was put in jail for a phantom coup that they said he was involved in. And even Abiola's case, he KO Abiola and many other places around the world.
Let me recall one of his rebukes of Nelson Mandela. Of course, you remember that Winnie Mandela, the heartthrob of Nelson, by the time Nelson was released, Winnie Mandela has gone to follow a young lawyer and was no longer in love with Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela is eventually divorced Winnie and started having an affair with Mrs. Machel. Mrs. Machel used to be the wife of Samora Machel, and everybody was seeing Nelson and Mrs. Machel having an affair. It was Desmond Tutu who came out to say, look, you are President Mandela. You cannot be having an affair. The whole country will start having an affair. You either drop this woman or marry this woman. Guess what? Nelson Mandela married her. And so he's the only one who could have challenged the position of Nelson on such a very serious personal issue. But let me quickly ask how Nigeria has received the death of Desmond Tutu. Dr. Osita, you are a renowned seasoned journalist and now a proprietor of university. How did you receive Desmond Tutu, the death of Desmond Tutu in Nigeria?
We knew how old he was. I knew how old he was. I was basically happy that he had to go to rest, because once in a while in the last 10 years, he had one or two health issues here and there, but not serious. But the most important part is that South Africans felt that they lost, a bishop, but Nigerians feel that the Archbishop Desmond Tutu was ours too, because he played very important role, just like he was playing very important roles in the politics of South Africa. He played very important roles, in our politics. As a journalist, I remember one of my colleagues, Kadi Shenka, told a story of his meeting with Desmond Tutu in London after he visited Nigeria. Then it was Sani Abacha and Dipo Oladipo, who was second in command then, and because he couldn't see Sani Abacha, Desmond Tutu had to seek audience with Dipo, and then Desmond Tutu used his normal language. Your Excellency, let your people go, set Nigerians free. He was talking to the military regime then, which was quite unique.
Yeah.
So what happened? Oladipo Dia stood up and said, Your Excellency, come and see. He opened his window. He said, look at Nigerians now, they're walking about free. They are very free. They are very free. I'm telling you, these people are free. You know what happened? Standing right there with Dia, the man cried.
Wow.
You know why? You know why he cried?
Mm.
While he was an undergraduate in London, he was sitting in the lawn, waiting for his friends to come, and two black kids walked across the lawn and went to graduate hostel. And he turned around and he was asking his, his friends, his white friends, who are those black people bold enough to walk into the, the graduate hall? And they said to him, these are Yorubas from Nigeria.
Wow.
And he knelt down there, raised his hands up and said, thank you, God. Nigeria is going to save Africa. And he comes to African country, to this Nigerian country, and the military, is in power, and they are giving him the runaround about Nigerians being free. That was why he wept. So yes, we had a Desmond Tutu. He was the chairman of all Christian Council of Churches. He wasn't just a South African. The man was an African. All African Christian Council of Churches. So what we were looking at is the death of a very important person,
international icon.
Yes, in Africa and all over the world. And if you Google the death of Desmond Tutu, you will see Canadians, Americans, Europeans, and even people that don't speak English or they don't speak any African, like the Philippines. They are all paying tribute, to him because he impacted the entire world. And remember, like you said, he brought balance, political and emotional balance to South Africa. Anything that happened that His Excellency the President then Nelson Mandela did because he was trying to bring peace. The Desmond Tutu, even though he was an archbishop of the Christian religion, will say to him, "This is not how we bring peace. We bring peace by going to all sides of the story." So that we can know where the truth is. That was why,
he was a bit emotional. He will cry, he will laugh, he will make jokes, he will kneel down, he will cry, he will. It was a lot of emotion, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. But remember too, the problem of Africa there, not just South Africa, needed someone like him. His emotions define those problems for us properly.
Yeah.
He made sure that he brought all the problems to the fore, so that when they're being discussed, when they're being talked about, everybody knows how to make a contribution. We lost an enigma. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Welcome, Ambassador Felix Duke, all the way from Nigeria. Ambassador Felix, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so very much. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we've had so many good news about you. You are the president, Creative Industry Group.
Yes, sir.
Whereabouts are you? Are you in Lagos, Abuja, or any other part of Nigeria?
I live in Lagos. The national headquarters we are in Lagos.
Okay. We're going to ask a few things from you in a moment, but please tell us about yourself. Our viewers, we want to know you, and we want to know what you are doing in Nigeria.
My name is Ambassador Felix Duke. I am the president of the Creative Industry Group. Before I became the president of the Creative Industry Group, you referred to me as a musician who have done so much hits in the past. I'm popularly referred to as Mr. Goody Goody. I've done a lot of hit songs in the past. Before I became the president of the Creative Industry Group. What gave birth to the Creative Industry Group is, you agree with me that everyone within the creative space, only 0.1% of people within the creative industry are really surviving. And we decided to come up with this organization to be a welfare organization to everyone within the creative space in Nigeria.
Well, we will be asking many more questions.
You want me to go on?
No. We will be asking many more questions from you. We're going to on a short break. When we return, we will be asking you a few questions about the creative group, and I'm talking of the Performing Musician Association of Nigeria, if you don't mind. What is going on? And
P-Man.
yeah,
P-Man.
and yeah, P-Man, yeah. We'll be asking questions on that if you don't mind, but you don't have to answer us. But then we will be also be asking you about Omicron in Lagos. But let's go for a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
All right. Okay.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better. The Inside Story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind, keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Welcome back to News Echoes. I'm glad you are still watching. We have on the platform today Ambassador Felix Duke, the President Creative Industry Group, and I'll be asking our veteran, Dr. Osita, to be ready to ask Ambassador Duke a few questions because I'm sure they are in the same industry. Please tell us what's going on before Osita comes on. What's going on with the creative industry in Nigeria? We know about the Nollywood, the Performing Musician Association, but like you rightly pointed out, 0.1% get to the headlines. So give us an overview. By the way, those of us in diaspora, we are very proud of the way the Nigerian music has gone viral all over the world. We are very proud. We go into any store in London and we are hearing Nigerian music of Davido, Wizkid. The other day, Wizkid packed O2 Arena for 4 days and he made millions of pounds. And that's a Nigerian kid. And so we're very glad, but it's just one person out of plenty. Tell us, what are the challenges there? Then I will hand over to Dr. Osita to ask you a few questions.
First of all, I would still like to touch on why Creative Industry Group was created.
Okay, go ahead.
We know that a lot of people within the creative space are suffering. and a lot of them have no pension. You know, somebody like me that have made hits in the past, a lot of musicians and a lot of people within the creative space, some of us, although music was not as vibrant the way it is now, then, you know, some people did not invest, and there was no money like this then. And we decided to put up this organization to cater for even those that have not been able, you know, you have not made a hit, you are a fashion designer, nobody knows you, you have passion to become a fashion designer, there is nothing, I mean, to kickstart. Hairdressers, caterers, you can see that the creative industry, we are the second largest employer of labor, and most of these people find it difficult to survive. That was why Creative Industry Group was bettered. And since Creative Industry came into existence 3 years ago, we've done trainings, several trainings in Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, Kogi State. We were to do Kaduna before the lockdown. And the reason of those, we put up those trainings is to train people, empower them. Because we found that a lot of youths no longer want to work, no longer want to do anything. And we started discussing with ourselves, look, if we don't do something now, in the next 5 years, if you call yourself an elite or you call yourself a celebrity, you won't be able to drive your car on the streets of Nigeria, which we are already seeing happening. And we as celebrities, we can actually use our faces, use what we have, use our names to drive these trainings. We tell them, look, you can do this, you can diversify into other areas and still pursue your career. Because you see an actor, he or she will tell you, he or she is an actor, and they don't deviate. They will not go into any other job. And you find out that they cannot even feed themselves three times a day. You understand? And we decided to do this training. Look, you can do this while you put food on your table, and at the same time, still pursue your career. That is one part of the creative industry group. Within these 3 years, we've been able to set up our own estate called the Creative Industry Group Estate in the Bejuleki, where you and I, as a creative person, can live together in one estate. Because you find out that a lot of people, some of them don't have money, some have money, they squander it. And what we did, we spread payments for those lands for 2.5 years. So it's not a burden. So we all can live in one estate as creative people. Not only that, we launched our insurance scheme. We launched life insurance. Yeah. We launched accident and health. Because we're tired when people within the creative industry have an headache, they beg money via social media. That was why that insurance scheme was set up. We have our own CUG line that help us to communicate with each other everywhere in the country, and the easy way we do business with each other, you know. And those are the things we've been able to put on ground. There are so many other things.
I must confess, these are laudable programs, and what the basis of your foundation is genuine and very, very germane to improvement of creativity in Nigeria. I will allow my colleagues to react and ask questions. The most competent of us all is Dr. Sita. What are your reactions, Dr. Sita?
Hello, Dr. Sita. God bless you, sir.
Hi. Hi, Mr. Ambassador. How are you?
I'm
Can you
fine, sir.
hear me?
And you? Loud and
I'm
clear,
well,
sir.
thank you. Yes. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
I am so honored to have met you, and I'm very privileged to be talking to you.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Same here.
Everything you said resonates because I have been a broadcast journalist since 1978. I started
Whoa.
with I started with Radio Nigeria and all this, but
Wow.
at the point I started teaching it. I started teaching journalism. But my special area was creative arts too. I was dealing with the actors, musicians, and their crew, and the people who support their work, because it became very important for us to understand what made them tick and what their problems were. So
Yeah.
I want to thank you so very much for what you do. I want to thank you so very much for your belief and faith in the industry, because it's only somebody who has that kind of faith that.
I believe that Dr. Sita will be.
Network problem.
Yes, network problem.
Yeah.
Network problem.
Okay, we'll have him back. Mark, what
So
would be your reaction to Ambassador Felix?
yes, coincidentally, I need to say this. That's my boss too. So
Okay.
I coordinate the creative industry for Europe, and
Okay.
him. Um, Obviously, you've had all the goals, the aims. Like you said earlier, it's a laudable move. This is the first time we're having something very, very strategic in the creative, in the entertainment world in Nigeria. So I've been with him. We chit chat every now and then. What the only thing would like to ask my boss is, Ambassador Felix, what are the plans for these artists? Like you just said, we yesterday one of the Nollywood actor passed on, and most times these people leave families, they leave their children, their wives, and family behind. Are there any plan to help family when the breadwinner passes on, and the breadwinner happens to be a member, that somebody that has contributed to the to entertainment or to something very notable in Nigeria? Are there plans for the family to be taken care of? Are there any measures in place?
Very well. That is where the life insurance comes in.
Okay.
Um, Unfortunately, most of these people, you can see most of them will spend close to 100,000 drinking beer, drinking alcohol in a bar,
Okay.
but they will not spend money for something that will benefit them in the future. We've been announcing this insurance scheme. Most of them have killed in. Most of them have not killed in. You see, creative industry group. We first of all, I want to say this so that people don't get it wrong. We 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 are apolitical. We are not a political organization. We are a welfare organization. At the same time, we have no problem with guilds and associations. We synergize with anyone that stretch hands of friendship. We synergize with them. But the creative industry group is meant for individuals. So that's why we have practitioners in all sectors of the creative industry group. Creative industry. Mostly, we go after those below the lines, those that are falling below the lines. Like some associations and guilds, you have people that are angry with associations. You have people that are angry with guilds, and we decided to bring everyone on board, give them sense of belonging. So the creative industry group brings in people individually We synergize with P-Man, with Nigeria Actors Guild, and everyone that are ready that stretch hands of friendship to us. Just like the associations of what's the name of this association again? Cosmetology and Barbers and the Hairdresser Association. We brought them in, and we stretch hand of friendship to them too. So, and because the organization is for everyone, individuals, we are not rolling out, working with association and guilds, setting up trainings, partnering with them and all that, because we need to do what we have to do to give a better life to everyone. Now, concerning what you just asked, that do we have plans?
Yes.
Let me touch that again. We have plans for everybody. We have plans for all members. That's why the insurance claim was vetted. And if you don't key into the insurance, there is nothing we can do. And the insurance, how much is the insurance, which covers life, accident, and health? Just 25,000 a year. We were able to strike a big deal with the insurance companies and the HMOs.
So that's like 2,000 naira. That's like 2,000 naira per month.
2,000 naira per month.
That's it. So you can see some will kill in, some have not killed in. And if you don't kill in and something happens, we will not go extra miles for you, because we've set up a structure that will take care of you.
Many people drink pepper soup with 2,000 naira in one day. So
I'm telling you, that's the painful part of it. And when they have a headache, they start begging money on social media. When there's death, the insurance company gives them 1 million naira on the spot. Gives the family. The wife can use 1 million to set up a business.
Let me bring in Ambassador Nat Iyakwo in. He's a colleague in London, and he may have some contribution, or even may ask you a question. Ambassador Nat, you've been listening to Ambassador Dick giving us what they're doing in Nigeria and how to improve the living standard of the creative industry. What would you like to ask him?
Well, two areas. Once again, it's a privilege to interact with you, Ambassador Felix Duke.
Same here, sir.
Okay, you want us to believe that your organization is apolitical.
Yes, sir.
But we have seen instances where people in the creative industry and those particular politicians, not only endorsing them, but maybe partake in their campaigns. What's your reaction to that?
When an individual, that's an individual thing. It's not an organization thing. We as an organization, we will not go into that. Even though when we started newly, we stretched hands of friendship to Atiku when we started, because we wanted Atiku to see how it can help us to stand, and the help didn't come, and we decided to pursue our cause by ourselves. And by the grace of God, we are moving with speed today, not by my power, not by anybody's power, but by the grace of God. If an individual, as a practitioner, decided to support a politician, that is on them. Whatever happens to them, that is on them. They have every right. We have no right to control anybody or to tell anybody what to do. They are brands on their own. They have every right to say, oh, I'm supporting this. They have every right to say, I'm supporting this. But we, as the creative industry group, we've taken that decision. We will never support any political party or anything, because we want to stand alone to make sure when we speak, people respect whatever we say. And we are standing and we're being the voice for the people, for our members.
You must have seen
that's an individual thing, sir.
Yes, you must have seen on the internet. It went viral when notable Nollywood stars went to endorse Tinubu. I'm sure you have seen that one. It went viral.
Yes, I have.
How did you feel? What was your reaction to
that? My reaction as an individual, not as the president of the creative industry group. Still, that is his cup of tea. He has every right to do whatever he wants to do. You see, people are condemning him today. My name is not included. He has his own brand. He has every right to do whatever he wants to do. That is it. That is it. And as the president of the creative industry group, and I stand the same ground to say he has every right to do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to use Tutu to sell his brand, so good luck to him.
Okay, Ambassador
that wants to do that.
Yes, just one more.
You have one more question. Yes, so that we can move on. What's your second question?
Just one more. It seems to me that the creative industry group seems to be an elitist group. You are talking of you live exclusively in an estate in Abuja, maybe, or Lagos. Estate, it means the poor man cannot get into that place.
Well,
you are talking of
no. You see, when I made mention of the estates, you see, Nigeria is developing. Everywhere now is full of estates. Estates are secured. Now we've been able to spread payment for 2.5 years for members. Every month you pay 123,000. That is not too much. And we started with that. Now we started with the estate in Ibejuleki. We are still moving forward, establishing estates in different states for those that cannot afford the Lekki. We are still going to establish estates in areas that are not too expensive, but we started with that. So I think Rome wasn't built in a day. If we started with that, give it to us now.
But what I'm saying, if you have estates in local government headquarters in Nigeria, how many people? Our population 200 million. How many people are living in your estate?
No, Ambassador Nat. They are only concerned with the artists, not
the creative people. It's called the creative industry group estate.
That's what makes them elitist. That's what makes them elitist. You are cutting off some people.
No. This is for the creative people.
This is for
just for the creative people.
Yeah.
So we are there to take care of our members, to take care of our people.
Yeah,
and quickly, sir, I forgot to mention that we have a very big festival coming up that has never happened before in Nigeria. It's called the Creative Industry Festival. It's coming up at Tafa Balewa Square in February, from February 7th to February 30th. It's called 7 days in Lagos. And it includes everyone within the creative space, whether you are a barber, you are an hairdresser, you are a caterer, whoever you are, we're giving you sense of belonging. We created this festival to create employment. We're inviting 10 countries in Africa. It would have been a world festival, but because of these COVID restrictions, we decided to streamline it to Africa events. And this is huge. The only festival you can compare with this is Festac. Festac is just one part of the creative industry, which was cultural. So this one is huge and it's coming up in February, sir. I just said, let me inform all Nigerians in the diaspora.
It's a good information, and we hope our diasporans will get it and come to support you. If we have a advert, we can give it to our man in Milan, and he will run the advert for you, so that those who want to support you from diaspora will do. There are many people here who love Nigerian artists, and so they will. Let's run the advert for you, and we promise we'll do it free of charge, and will affect diasporans will listen, and those who will come will come, those who will support will support. We're very glad to have you. And before we allow you to go, tell us what's the Omicron level in Lagos? How are people reacting to this latest variant?
Well, you can, Nigerians. If you go to a marketplace, you don't see people wearing masks because most of them don't believe that this Omicron or whatever it's called, COVID-19 is for poor people. They will tell you how many market women have you seen the COVID killed. You understand? They don't even. Yeah. You go to the market, just few people that have been sensitized about COVID that are wearing masks. Nearly everybody in the market, they don't wear masks, and you see so jam-packed. You understand? But in some organized places, you see people wearing masks. In churches, they wear masks. But in markets, you don't see that mask in marketplaces.
Oh, that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me make a pledge on behalf of the Schengen News Media that since you have a program coming up in February, early February, maybe we should have you again last week in January to come and tell us how everything is ready. And by that time, we should be running an advert for you. And we hope many diasporans will support, not only in money, but to fly over and be a part of it. I'm sure Mark will not mind in doing that.
Yes.
We are very glad to have you, but we want to have you just before your main big program next year. Mark, you want to wrap up before we go on a short break?
Yes, the wrapping up is in support of what you just said. We will do everything because what is happening with the creative industry is something that has never happened before. Bringing all reasonable, people that want to contribute to the economy, because at the end of the day, all of this creativity adds to the economy of Nigeria, and that's what we're looking for, something that will boost our economy. So the creative industry is when I heard of it the first time, I said, wow, this is divine. And it's going to go a long way. In fact, we've just begun. Many more wonderful things will happen, and it will really galvanize the young people, men, young girls, boys, barbers, like he said, tailors. Everybody will begin to have that sense of belonging and sense of also stepping up their game and doing it right, standardizing it, making it real, come out well. So it's wonderful. Believe me, Dr. Shegun, I heard about it. I said, this is it.
Ambassador Felix, we want to give you your last statement before we go on break. What's your last statement?
I want to say a big thank you for this great support you've just mentioned, and it will go a long way. You see, when you see people who are like minds, it gives a lot of joy. And as the Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. And there is no way we can run without support. It's good we have a vision, but it's only God that can bring good people to key into the vision and run with it.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy that You guys really key into this vision, and we want to take the creative industry to a greater height, to the next level. Because as you said from the beginning, Nigerian music is everywhere. When I've traveled nearly everywhere in the world, and Nigerian music is everywhere. Nigeria film is everywhere. I can tell you there are some countries where when they're showing Nigerian films on their television, you don't see people on the streets.
Wow.
I can tell you, yes. And Nigerian fashion, it has taken a new turn. You can see.
Ambassador Felix, let me tell you the latest in England now. It is cool to be a Nigerian. Everybody wants to associate themselves with Nigerians there. And I'm talking of between the age of 15 and 45. They are looking for Nigerians. I want to be a friend to a Nigerian. I want to be a friend to Nigerian. I'm telling you, this is the coolest time to be a Nigerian in Europe.
Let me tell you this. I have DJs calling me from America.
Yeah.
All they play now is Nigerian music. They are begging me to infuse them into the festival. They want to come and perform at the festival free of charge.
Another thing that will amuse you is that the Nigerian children born here, they are now telling us, their parents, please don't speak British accent when my friends come. Speak the Nigerian accent. Everybody wants to hear you speak the Nigerian accent. So
That's beautiful.
We are now the coast of the town. Now we are going on a short break. We'd like to have you in January. Don't forget. We're going on a short break. When we return, we want to look at the security in Nigeria. Ambassador Nat will be taking us into the security of Nigeria, and we'll be assessing Buhari's achievements in 7 years as we enter a new year. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Welcome back to News Echoes. We'll give you the latest so that you can have an informed opinion. My name is Shegun Johnson, and I have in the studio still with us Ambassador Nat, and he's going to tell us exactly his own assessment of the Buhari achievements in 7 years as we roll into 2022. Ambassador Nat, I'm so glad things are working. I hope Dr. Sita is back in the studio. He was having challenges in Nigeria. Ambassador Nat, Buhari was quoted to have said, I have served Nigeria, I have revitalized the economy, I have built the infrastructure, and I have raised the living standard. And it went viral in the last 48 hours. Please, what's your assessment of this second-time president, military president, now democratic president? Let's have your achievement as we enter into 2022.
Well, I think the presidential team, especially his spokesmen and women, have redefined what achievement means or what achievement is. But I see them those statements on achievements are more of political statements. Yeah, because what they have said and what is on ground, they are miles apart. If 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 people like Garba Shehu will, or even Femi Adesina will roll out uh, things they call achievements, then we have to really ask ourselves whether you and me don't know the meaning of achievement. Like in the area of security, just 2 days back, Garba Shehu told the whole world that Buhari is going to end the insecurity in Nigeria uh, in the next 1 year. And that's maybe end of 2022 as he prepares to hand over. So I really am at a loss. I cannot really understand. But at the end of the day, if the achievements are going to be the challenges, is going to hand over to the next government, the challenges with insecurity. If we compute the number of people that have been killed since May 29, 2015 up to date, although we are told we shouldn't compare such figures with the governments, but really, and I think what really Buhari has also introduced in his second coming is to send. They are very now good in celebrating birthdays, burial ceremonies, to banning people. Yeah, because
Now, let's be scientific about this assessment. Let's take infrastructure. Have we, as is a government, have they done the railway system or not? We want to be scientific now. That is systematic in our assessments. That's what it means to be scientific. So, railway, Amechi constructed railway or not?
the railway was 70 or 80% done by the previous PDP administration, Jonathan's administration. And so all they did was to come and complete some of these railway lines, especially Abuja to to Kaduna, that the bandits have taken over.
So, is that one functioning now, the Abuja Kaduna, or it has been stopped in the meantime?
Not completely, but the wagons to keep developing technical problems, and then we have the bandits or the terrorists, bombing the rail lines, the tracks, or even
They're killing
attempting,
them all together.
yeah, or even killing them altogether. So
Now, do we still have a rail service between Lagos and Kano?
well, let's even start Lagos to Ibadan. The Lagos to Kano on maybe once in a month, and you spend days. You spend days on on the track. So
Okay. Let's leave transport. Let's leave that one. Works. How about the roads? Have they completed Lagos Ibadan in 7 years? The Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
no, they have not. They have not completed. And again, initially they were like remedial works, and sometimes some portions of the Nile Express have failed, and the traffic lock, no, the traffic jam, the traffic jam. Yes, you have vehicles queuing on a dual carriageway expressway for miles. And we know that when Julius Baja built that road, I think 1978, 79, or thereabout, you could make Lagos Ibadan in an hour or less.
Yes,
But now,
less than an hour.
yeah, but
Okay. So, are there notable rules they have made so that we can? We're just trying to be scientific about this one, systematic. So it appears that we do not have so many rose. How about airports? Do we have in the aviation ministry? Do we have federal airports?
It looks the aviation industry is worst off when you talk of airports. You remember that Abuja airport had to be closed down,
Mm,
and then because of cracks on the tarmac and so many maintenance issues, and
okay.
they had to
You
move
see,
to Kaduna.
we don't have much time to go into everything. That's why we're just trying. Let's quickly go to economy. In economy, has the economy improved in the last 7 years in the sense that what is the rate of inflation? Are prices dropped? Is the economy improved? What will you say?
Well, you see, economics too. The It's again, there is a world of difference between what we are told about our economy and what is on the table of the average man in Nigeria. When I mean on the table, food basically. Because if you talk, your economy is doing well, your GDP is doing well, your problem is not taking more loans. But the common man, the average Nigerian, what the quality of his life, uh, what is the strength of the naira, the local currency.
And then
Uh,
the foreign exchange, did it
yeah,
improve?
yeah. So we're living two worlds in Nigeria, one for the rich and one for the poor.
Maybe that's the problem because Buhari said, I have raised the living standard in 7 years. Maybe he raised the living standard of the rich ones.
No, but more people are going into dropping into below the poverty line than anything else. More people are out of jobs now. More
Mm,
people are out of anything good, the good things of life. They cannot access them anymore.
yeah. I
More
know we
than
don't have much time on the. I don't know whether Dr. Sita is back on in the studio. Now let's talk about corruption. His Buhari was supposed to reduce corruption in Nigeria. Has he, in 7 years, has he been able to do that to any extent at all?
Again, there are two schools of thought. The presidency says corruption has been reduced, but people outside the presidency said Buhari regime may be declared the most corrupt, maybe
Wow.
so far. Yeah, so that is
But the
the
problem with the Nigerian corruption is that Mr. President, each president has not been found guilty of corruption on his person, but except with his cabinet, like we see in Jonathan's case, people getting money, Dasuki, Dizani, and all those ministers, but they've not been able to nail the president. Jonathan was not nailed, Obasanjo was not nailed, definitely not Yaradua, and Buhari too will not be nailed. Everybody says he hasn't stolen one penny, even though many people believe that all his members are making one form of money or the other. How do you copy?
well, the system is designed in such a way that you can never find your president or former president guilty of anything, even with constitutional breaches. You cannot, you don't find them guilty of anything. And again, it is always, they will say, while they were in public office, they were doing this in the interest of the public.
Mm.
They were doing this as officials of the government, but that is not that's not the issue.
Ambassador Nat, we're going to 2022 in a few days' time, and the very moment we hear Happy New Year, nothing else will you hear in Nigeria except the presidential elections and the campaigns and the vows from politicians. One thing that many people believed that Buhari was coming to do in 2015 was to put security in place. In his 7 years of assessment, as we come and the drum is rolling to his era that many people will want to forget, how well has he done in ensuring security in Nigeria?
Well, Buhari came in as president of Nigeria as from 2015 with these three cardinal points or mantra. S for security, E for the economy, and A for anti-corruption. And in all three counts, we be fair to him, he has failed woefully.
But as a former general, many people expected him to fare very well in security. But it must be said that he has failed in the security area more than any other president in Nigeria, having seceded 1/3 of the north to foreigners. I'm talking of parts of Zamfara, of Sokoto, of Kebbi, of Borno. Why did he fail so woefully in that area?
I think the issue was that those who saw Buhari as the redeemer coming in, a retired general, did not really know that some other people were the ones calling the shots, even during his military regime. And even as a civilian, he has handed over his government to his aides, those who is delegated so much authority and abdicated even his powers and his responsibility. So we cannot see any serious decisions and policies that are executed as he promised. And you cannot do in 1 year what you couldn't do in 6 or 7 years. It's going to be more than a miracle.
Well, I'm coming back to you, Ambassador. Now, let me quickly dash to Milan. Mark, we've been assessing President Buhari tenure, and like Mark said, he wanted to be known in security. He wanted to be known in improving on economy and anti-corruption. And if you look at those acronyms, SEA, it is C. And it looks like he has not even thrown us into the sea. He has thrown us into the ocean in all of these three. So he ended up in the sea from top to bottom, top to bottom. What's your own assessment? Maybe you'll be more generous than Ambassador.
Powerful take Ambassador Yaku gave there. Ambassador Yaku gave it all. That's it. Everything has, he drew us to the ocean. He drew us to the Atlantic Ocean. Nothing improved, Dr. Shagun. Nothing improved.
You see, I'm a political scientist, and I want to be systematic in assessment so that we don't just give it a general blanket. I want to, from the loans Nigeria have taken, I understand that we took loans in the 7 years more than all the loans Nigeria has ever taken. What's your take on that?
And the Minister of Finance is supporting every of that loan, giving excuses that doesn't really. I mean, sometimes, Big Brother, one mistake we do in Nigeria is trying to be correct politically in everything. You know, people don't think out of the box. Sometimes people don't think. Let's just be real. It's not every time that we have to be they say straight jackets. It's not every time we have to follow things exactly the way they are. Now, the Minister of Finance gave reasons that sounds straight jacket, that sounds conventional. But the fact is the loan taking and the financial plans is zero. I mean, you don't take loan to pay university lecturers' salary, for example. Who pays back that loan? You don't take loan to close up something that had a vacuum before. You take loan, if possible, to build up something and gain back in return.
Yeah, capital investment for short.
Fiscal investment. So
But why has our budget been skewed towards paying salaries and overhead? So 70% of the federal budget that have been on overheads, and that is
overhead,
things like salaries
yes,
and
overhead.
pins and papers. But the real thing that the country needs, which is capital investment, only take 30%. Even the 30% are not executed before the end of the budget year. Why do people? Why do we behave like that?
Yes, because we are the government doesn't have a, one thing Buhari did, one misplaced step he took in his governance was putting square holes in round peg. People that didn't
Okay.
have knowledge of the office being placed in that office. So obviously they will be clueless. They wouldn't know what to do. Even if somebody had read economics or finance or something, you still need to have some experience in that field. You don't just bring that person and put that person there to control, to head a
Mm.
country's financial matters. A country, we're not talking of an association. This is not a group or an institution. It's a country of people. So, giving a summary to Buhari's government, I'm sad. It's sad to say that it has not fared well.
To what
Um,
extent? To what extent will you think he has dealt with bribery and anti-corruption? Because I just want us to be a bit mathematical here.
so,
If zero is no corruption and 10 is corruption, do you think he has managed to move Nigeria's 10 corruption, very corrupt, to maybe 9 or 8, or even maybe is at 1 or even 0? There is no corruption in Nigeria. What, on that scale, where will you move it? If 10 is the highest level of corruption, and he met it at 10. What do you think he has he been able to move it down?
well, I'm thinking very deep here now. So it's something to really assess
Is that
very well.
difficult? Is that difficult?
Yes, we need
Mm.
to assess. We need to think very deep. Dr. Shagun, what has happened is there is actually an awareness of
Mm.
if you take money, if you steal, EFCC will come after you. But that
Mm.
has not really fared well. It has not really fought and removed corruption from the cronies of
Sorry,
Nigerian economy.
sorry, I have to stop you there. Which EFCC will be after you? The EFCC that the chairman was removed? Magu, have you forgotten?
Yes,
That
Magu was
Magu was corrupt and he was
removed.
removed, and they set up a salami report that we have not read. Is that the one that EFCC? Nobody is afraid of EFCC anymore, are they? Because even the
But
head.
the young man there seems to be a little bit. I mean, what he claims. He claims to be active and going after the corrupt people.
Let me
But
ask you a question. Where is the salami report? It was done with fanfare and everything. We have been taken for a ride. Was Magu doing the wrong thing? And if yes, where is the report? If he
where is the
was doing the
report?
right thing and he was witch hunted, then where is the report? How can you, a whole country, set up a panel, the panel finished its report, and we're not being told anything? And don't
I
forget
think
that.
Ambassador Nat will know better. But Ambassador Nat, where
No,
is
no,
the
no, no, no. You mentioned
where is,
EFCC. One more
where
question,
is
one
the
more issue.
report?
EFCC, this man, Mr. Magu, was not supported by the 8th Assembly. The 8th Senate, headed by Shola Saraki, did not approve Magu. They said, look at his record. The DSS report on Magu was negative, negative, negative. Buhari insisted on putting him there without, as against the constitution, without the approval of the Nigerian Senate. And now the Buhari government now finally discovered that Magu was corrupt. He was set up on a report on a panel, and then the report never came to us. Is that how to operate a government? Maybe if you said
And
Nat can.
the report went underground. You know, sometimes we don't know what to say anymore. I mean, Ambassador Nat is patient enough to give some more insight because out of annoyance and you don't know, you feel, what is happening to these people? Why are these people not doing the right thing? You just said it. A report came out and it went on the ground. Nobody till now, till tomorrow, we don't know anything about that report.
Why was Magu removed? Nobody's telling us.
Nobody's saying
Ambassador Nat,
anything.
maybe you can help us.
Yes, Ambassador Nat is he can say something.
Well, I just want to add to what Dr. Johnson has said and what Mark is saying.
Okay.
Is it this present regime, Buhari regime, that is their style of governance.
Okay.
He gave himself an accolade for being called Baba Go Slow. And so he doesn't see anything wrong that a presidential panel was appointed to investigate Magu, and that was the end of that report. We don't even know the content of that report, and again we thought Justice Ayo Salami, the man we knew as a firebrand justice, we decided to keep loudly quiet. When you are given a responsibility, you do it, and you don't hear anything about it. It's a style in this government that you don't have to be accountable to anybody. They are above the law, yes, and they just do anything they want to do. And the Buhari's false assumption and thought that nobody can do anything to him, you can't impeach him, there can be no coup or anything. So it's like he can just go to sleep and wake up 2023, and it's over.
Okay. Before we go on the final break for this episode, ISWAP launched a rocket in Maiduguri. How terrible was that on the Nigerian security, Ambassador Nat?
Well, it's a very terrible thing to have happened. It's sad, it's unfortunate, and it also tells the world the type of security we have in Nigeria. The last week rocket grenades launched not only once, twice, but 3 times the day Buhari was visiting Maiduguri. And I think the last one happened when he was in Maiduguri that day. And,
Wow.
and if we have an armed forces, we have Air Force, we have the military, we have 27 other security agencies. There was no any security report or intel to let the world know that these people will attack. And they have been throwing rockets into University of Maiduguri. This is the embarrassment we now have. That we have more than 2 presidents in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Nat. We just have to go on this short break. When we return, we will want some good news. The lady that was proposed to by the youth copper has been released from detention, hasn't she? And we promised our viewers last week that we'll be bringing them information on this. That lady has been released, but we want to have a review of how a youth copper proposed to a soldier and it became a challenge to this young couple. They've not even started the life, but they've started being detained by their own government. Also, we'll be looking at the 2021 electoral law amendment or not. And finally, Okorocha's life over in Nigeria as his son-in-law, Uchenwosu, was arrested. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrate an African's making impact. Read better. The Inside Story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Welcome to our last episode. Welcome back to our last episode of 2021. I'm so glad you are still watching. And I want to thank my colleagues, Dr. Sita Nemeka, all the way from Nigeria. We have today guest speaker, Ambassador Felix Duke. My colleague in East London is still here with us, Ambassador Nati Yakwa. And of course, our main man in Milan, Mark. I'm so glad we started 2021 and here we are. What a wonderful time we've been together in the studio and assessing what's going on all over the world. I'm really glad. Before we go into some electoral law discussion, Ambassador Nat, what happened to this lady who was proposed to by a youth couple and as soon as the proposal was over, the lady was detained? What's the latest?
Well, the latest is that the Chief of Army Staff directed that Sophia, the name of the
Lady.
military, Sophia, the name of the military personnel. The Chief of Army Staff directed that she should be released. She should be released immediately.
Was she released back to her post or she was posted out to the end of the earth?
Well, the information in the public domain says the Chief of Army Staff directed that she should be released from detention, and she was released. Whether she was posted out of her formation, unit in the military and in Ilorin or wherever, we do not know. But what we know is she has been released, and again that relationship did not start in the NYSC camp in Ilorin, no, in Kwara. It started the Sophia, the soldier, and the copper knew each other 3 years ago in Abeokuta, Ogun State. So there, it was like it was accidental or coincidence or whatsoever that they will meet again in Kwara State in the NYC camp. And the time they met, Sophia had not joined the military. She was a bloody civilian. But by the time they will meet again in Kwara State, Sophia was now in army uniform, the other young man in NYC uniform.
So is this now going to be a happy ending and they live together ever happily after? Is that how it's going to end?
That is what we are looking forward to, because even the families of the youth copper came out to tell the whole world that that relationship did not start in the camp. It started 3 years ago. We
Well,
have
even
not.
if it had started in the camp, what would have been wrong about that? I
Well,
mean, fair enough, it is done in the camp.
yeah,
I,
the military tried to give a very will I say a professional excuse or what? And it applies in other uniform services too. You there are some things you don't do when you are in uniform. That is one. The second reason the military gave was that this time around, the military personnel was there to give training and orientation to a copper.
not to
But
start getting married and getting involved in love affair, any
yes, there is some sort of breach or breach of
professionalism.
yes, professionalism. You can no longer exercise your authority over a copper when you are thinking otherwise because you are in uniform. Some things going on in your brain, but you are supposed to be providing
Now,
training.
wait a minute, Ambassador Nat. Have we
Yeah,
learned any lesson from this? Did the Nigerian institution learn any lesson from that blunder?
but our institutions don't ever learn anything. Because the police will do the same thing. The Navy, Air Force will do the same thing. The Road Safety Corps will do the same thing. I think we are not programmed to learn anything or pick up any lesson from any situation.
Anyway, we have a fairly good news in that one that the lady has been released and we are looking forward to their wedding. And we shall be bringing it back to you. If they happen to wed in 2022, the news echoes will be there. We'll capture it live and we'll bring it to you to see that they can live happily ever after, like Harry and Meghan. Ambassador Nat, the 2021 electoral law amendment appears this bill was returned by the president to the National Assembly, not assented to. Is that the end of this bill?
Well, that's not the end of this bill because there is a window of opportunity. Any bill not assented to by the president of Nigeria, he sends it back to the National Assembly with footnotes, with notes giving reasons why a particular bill will not be assented to. This is not the first time the president will send a particular bill back to the National Assembly. So we're expecting that when the National Assembly resume in January 2022, that they are going to look at the bill again, water it down, I'll call it that way, and make some amendments and send it back to Mr. President. But the challenge the National Assembly has is Nigeria doesn't have that luxury of time to and fro as we did in 2018. Ekiti elections are coming up in 2022 in June 18 or thereabout. And immediately after in July, is Oshun. So we really don't have that time.
But who are
Unless
the losers? Who are the losers of these non-assent by the president? Because Tinubu, we understand who is contesting the presidential election sometime in 2023, will have preferred direct primaries, which was put in that bill. And that bill, the president is refusing to assent because it was the primary direct primaries are too expensive. And it appears that Tinubu believes that he has captured the grassroots citizens of Nigeria, at least the grassroots. So is he a loser as this thing is being watered down, and that he may this bill that did not pass may really ruin his chances?
well, see, it's more. There are at least potential losers and potential winners. Since
Mm.
we don't have a bill that has been signed yet, we'll just hold our gunpowder dry until
But is this the same bill that says that electronic transfer of results should be made mandatory? Is it?
yeah, because this is the areas of concern of people, that you
Yeah,
don't throw away the baby with the bath water. There are
yeah.
some very excellent amendments in the bill that shouldn't be allowed to be thrown out, because especially this section on electronic transmission of
Mm.
election results.
Okay. So we now just wait, and if the presidency likes, he can refuse to put assent, and then once it is 6 months to election, an election, presidential election, is February 2023. So if this bill should return to Mr. President, say February or March, and he refuses to assent, and then what happens is that we're too close to 23 election, and then we have the election, and then elections are prone to rigging, and that is the issue, isn't it?
Yes, and the sad thing is that the Ninth Assembly don't have the courage to
Mm.
veto anything rejected by the president. That is the serious challenge we have. We are aware that when that when the 21 electoral bill was rejected by Buhari and sent back to the National Assembly, there were some dramatic shows, especially in the Senate, where they had collected 75 signatures. There are 109, but all of a sudden, the Senate president, Buhari's Senate president, uh, came to tell his colleagues that they should not embarrass the president. So we don't know whether the president of Senate is still in the Senate or is in the presidency.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, so
Well,
that is it.
just in a nutshell, how will you assess Saraki's eighth Senate and Lawan's ninth Senate? We thought Saraki wasn't doing a good job when he was there. Now he's been looked as most efficient uh, Senate president we've ever received.
The thing is that we are getting to a point now where there are no basis to compare the eighth Senate and the ninth Senate.
How do you
Because Saraki's eighth Senate is
mean?
now being seen as they were the real Senate doing their job,
Yeah.
and they will also see that the way they were elected or anointed or appointed, the two senates differ, and Lawan cannot afford to say no to the president. He might lose his job. Uh, Gbajabiamila had said to keep quiet because he knows if he does anything contrary to what Tinubu didn't send him to do. He won't come back to the House of Reps, even as a member.
That's funny. So Lawan, the Senate president, is a stooge of President Buhari. Gbajabiamila, the speaker, is a stooge of Tinubu, and they are pulling different ways because Gbajabiamila said a few weeks ago, "Oh, we're going to look at what the president is saying, and we're going to incorporate it." So, in a sense, we will be using wisdom to balance between Tinubu and the president.
Well, honestly, I can't see any wisdom they are using to balance the situation.
Mm,
We all know how they got into those positions. It was not by
mm,
election; it was
mm,
by anointing or selection. There was the two chambers. They were not allowed to vote on the floor. They were told you either take this or you leave it, and
mm,
for the past 5 years now, 6 years plus 7. This is
mm.
the National Assembly we that have become a department of the presidency.
Okay, it looks like that discussion will continue in the new year, and we'll be focusing on it. We'll be looking out for the developments of that electoral amendment bill, which may never see the light of the day. Let's take our last discussion for the year. Oh, Mark, uh, uh,
I was enjoying the breakdown. Maybe we if we had known, we could have done some like a school like thing where we are giving breakdown of the whole thing in data, in survey, and in polls. Have it together.
we have all the time in 2022. We have all
Yes,
the time.
we're going
We
to do
can still
that.
do that.
We're going to do that.
Yeah,
Ambassador Nat will give us we put a numerical and in
and
a way.
some chat.
Yes, and some charts. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
That's okay.
it's good you come up because the last topic for this year is the arrest of your kinsman, Uche Nwosu, who happens to be the son-in-law of former governor of Imo State, Senator Okorocha. He was arrested. Many people thought the way he was arrested was like banditry, shooting in
Yeah.
the air to scare people, and everybody said Uche Nwosu has been kidnapped or abducted. And then the government came out to say, no, that was the only way to arrest him because he has so many gunmen surrounding him. And so they had to use Hollywood style to arrest him. And what have you been hearing from who, Mark?
Yes. That's a very, very ugly occurrence there. It's not. I mean, they even though everybody has their faults, but Uche was also one time. I think he was
Chief of
uh,
Staff to
chief
Okorocha
of staff. Yes.
and
So I mean,
gubernatorial candidate of AA.
can you imagine? And he was treated like a thief. Now, what we see in our country is a government of animosity and bickering. People bring their animosity and they face themselves on that. There's nothing official. There's nothing done rightly. It's just personal. What the Americans call beef, personal annoyance, personal grievance, and I take it on with you. So Uche Wosu was taken off, but brought back the next day. The what we had from Imo is that they had some questions to answer. Until today, we've not had what are those questions?
Well,
What
if you want me to tell you, the rumor going on is that he was sponsoring some gunmen and that they have been following him and that they've discovered that he was the one sponsoring many gunmen in Imo State. Uzodinma said, I don't have a hand in it. It is a federal government inquiry. But Okorocha believed that it was Uzodinma who is engineering this thing. So that is the question I believe the federal government wants to ask him.
so that he's sponsoring government? Well, what can we say, Dr. Shagno? Ambassador Nat, from beginning, Hope Uzodinma and Rochas Okorocha have been on loggerhead, and we all know it's open, it's glaring, the public, everybody knows.
And we have interviewed Okorocha on this matter before, and we have
Yes,
interviewed two commissioners of Okuzodima on this matter
yes,
before on this
yes,
program. Yeah.
yes, that's correct.
Nat,
So,
what are we hearing from Abuja?
You see, the thing is all about politics and who gets the upper hand in exercising non-existent power. This latest episode has been an embarrassment even to the federal government. The IG himself, IG of police, came out to tell the whole world that they gave him the wrong information, and that is why they rushed Nwosu back to Imo, because IG was given the wrong information. But it's even more than the IG. The president of Nigeria is also the overall man in charge of the Nigerian police force, and so the presidency should take blame and apologize, or even the IG himself should apologize, not only to Nwosu but to the church too. They couldn't have the patience to wait until the church service was over.
can you imagine?
You go into the church, the Anglican church, and started shooting guns in the church and arresting Nwosu, handcuffing him. The last time I saw him was wearing only a singlet. I'm sure that's not what he wore, singlet to go to church. And then
It must have been rough handle.
he was honoring or celebrating Thanksgiving for his late mom. So what a desecration! What has Imo State turned into? What has Nigeria turned into?
I think his enemy did that on purpose. He did that on purpose.
That could happen.
Well, we'll just leave it there until the new year, 2022. I want to give my colleagues 30 seconds of fame. Mark, what would you like to say to our viewers in these 30 seconds of the last episode of 2021?
All I want to say is thanking them for following through all the year in this beautiful program that gives great insights, great take views on news in Nigeria and around the world. 2022 will be far better. We are taking it up. We are going on more network, and this has been wonderful. I also want to thank Ambassador Nat, Dr. Shegun, for being so resourceful, giving out this very good program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Your 30 seconds of fame, what would you like to tell our viewers as the year ends?
Well, we want to thank the viewers for keeping faith with us for the past 1 year. It's been a pleasure, and I've enjoyed participating in the Schengen News Media. But for Nigeria, we are leaving behind 2021 with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety, and doubt as to what 2022 has in store for us. Being a campaign year, political campaign, and we know what to expect in 2022. God help us. God save us. God help us.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Nat. Well, that's how far we'll leave it in this year. We thank you, like my colleagues have said, we thank you very much. Come 2022, we'll be giving you a higher definition, a higher presentation, and of course, our content will be improved. We are here to present Africa in a new dimension and with a great perspective. And we want to say that in the European diaspora, the rate of Nigeria has gone up, and we are very proud. We're part of this system and proud to be Nigerians. I want to thank my colleagues, Dr. Osita and Emeka, all the way from Abuja. I want to thank Ambassador Duke for appearing this day. Sure to bring him in January before the festival in February in Nigeria. I want to thank Mark Godwin, who is a publisher, and of course the crew in Milan. It's been a great year, and in 2022 it shall be greater. That's it, folks. Until next year, God bless you all.
God bless you, sir. Thank you.